these past couple of weeks we've been speaking about the Christian life.
Estas últimas semanas hemos hablando de la vida cristiana.
So if someone can refresh my memory, because I don't know what the past 3 weeks.
¿Alguien me puede recordar de qué estamos hablando? Porque a mí se me ha olvidado un poco.
I know Brother Jose spoke about testificar.
Brother Jose, he spoke about testifying.
And the week before that?
Y la semana antes, fear.
Temor. And the first one, that was you, right?
Yes.
What did you preach about?
Christian's life introduction.
Okay, there you go. Now we're all caught up.
Prosper. Prosperidad.
So it's my privilege today to talk about one key and one thing that I really love more than anything that has to do with the Christian life, and that's worship.
Una de las cosas yo tengo que hablar, quiero hablar de una, me gusta mucho, que es un punto muy clave que es en la vida cristiana, que es la alabanza.
And it's something that sometimes we take for granted and we don't really realize how important it is in our life.
Y a veces lo tomamos muy a la ligera y se nos olvida qué tan importante es en la vida.
And it's actually I am nervous today just because I have 2 uncles from each side of the family here today.
Estoy nervioso porque tengo 2 tíos de parte de mi familia.
And for the first time having like both sides of your family that know you more than what people know.
Y cuando tienes a 2 tíos de parte de la familia que te conocen más,
It's a little nerve-wracking in a way.
es un poco nervioso.
So if I stutter or nothing, it's because of them too.
Y si hago mal es por ellos 2.
And it's because I stutter anymore, it's because I have my cousin that clowns me like all the time. So.
Que tengo mi primo que es un poco payasito.
But worship.
Pero alabanza.
What is worship?
¿Qué es alabanza?
What is praise and worship?
¿Qué es adoración y alabanza?
A lot of people think, it's what we do at the beginning of a service.
Muchas veces pensamos que es lo que hacemos al principio del servicio.
Right? That's what we mostly think of, it's just singing songs.
Es lo que pensamos, solamente cantar.
And it becomes more like a tradition in a way.
Lo hemos hecho como una tradición.
We expect to do 3, 4 songs, or even 2 at the most, or 3, and then that's it. Oh, we're worshiping.
Queremos hacer 2 cantos, 4 cantos y ya acabamos.
But it goes beyond that.
Pero va más allá de eso.
James chapter 2, 14, can you put that on the...
Santiago capítulo 2.
And if you have your Bible, you can go to James 2, chapter 14.
Si voy a Santiago capítulo 2.
If you haven't, say amen.
Si lo tiene, puede decir amén.
Amen. So it reads, I read off the New Living Translation. It's just a very easy version that I love reading, but if you have King James, that's perfectly fine. And it goes, my dear brothers and sisters, have you claimed to have faith in our glorious Lord Jesus Christ if you favor some people over others? For example,
hermanos míos, de aquí aprovecha, algunos dicen que tiene fe y no tiene obras.
now that's verse 1.
¿Podría fe salvarle? Ese es el versículo 1.
Now verse 14, it goes, what is it good, dear brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith, but don't show it by your actions?
Hermanos míos, ¿qué se aprovecha si dice tener fe y no tiene obras?
Can that kind of faith save anyone?
¿La podrá esa fe salvarle?
Suppose you see a brother or a sister who has no food or clothing, and you say goodbye and have a good day, stay warm and eat well.
Si uno de los hermanos o hermanas está desnudo y no tiene necesidad de mantenimiento en casa al día,
but then you don't give that person any food or clothing, what good does that do?
si alguno de vosotros les dice ir en paz y clamar Sergio les dice, así que también, muy bien.
17.
Así también la fe, si no tiene obras, está muerta y a sí misma.
So if you see, faith by itself isn't enough. Unless it produces good deeds, it is dead and useless. Now some may argue, some people may have faith, others have good deeds. But I say, how can you show me your faith if you don't have good deeds? I will show you my faith by my good deeds.
Pero otro dirá, tienes fe y no tengas obras. Muéstrame tu fe sin tus obras y yo te mostraré mi fe por mis obras.
One more time. But I say, how can you show me your faith if you don't have good deeds? I will show you my faith by my good deeds.
Pero como por algunos dirán, tienes fe y yo no tengo obras. Muéstrame tu fe sin tus obras y yo te mostraré mi fe por mis obras.
Okay, so some Bibles have actions. So if you show me your faith, I will show you my actions.
Muchas palabras de acción.
Okay, some of you are saying, okay, why are we speaking about faith if we're talking about worship?
Y entonces, ¿por qué estás hablando de fe si estás hablando de alabanza?
What is faith?
¿Qué es fe?
Believing in what you can't see, right?
Creyendo lo que usted no puede ver.
Now, once again, why are we talking about faith if we're talking about worship?
Otra vez, porque hablamos de fe si no estamos hablando de
Now,
alabanza.
if you believe in something, James is saying clearly something. If you have faith, then you will show me by your deeds or actions.
Santiago está diciendo, yo tengo fe, tengo que amarme con tus acciones y tu creencia.
So that means having faith has a physical expression.
Quiere decir que teniendo fe tiene una forma física que vas a demostrar.
So having faith, believing in God, believing in something, you have a physical expression. So you're showing emotion.
Creyéndole a Dios, teniendo fe, creyéndole a Dios y va a demostrar con tu físico que crees en Dios o en algo.
So basically, you can't worship if you have no faith.
Tú no puedes adorar a Dios si no tienes fe.
Once again, you can't worship
Tú
if
no
you have no
puedes
faith.
adorar a Dios si no tienes fe.
So faith shows in the physical expression.
So, la fe se demuestra en lo físico.
Once again, you can't worship if you have no faith.
No puedes adorar si no tienes fe.
Now, once again, what is worship?
Una vez más, ¿qué es alabanza?
A mystery of worship isn't that it's about us, but about God.
La adoración no es para nosotros, sino es de Dios.
But sometimes we think God needs our worship.
A veces nosotros pensamos que Dios necesita nuestra alabanza.
God doesn't need our worship.
Dios no necesita nuestra alabanza.
We do.
Nosotros.
God isn't some insecure cosmic being
Dios no es un algo inseguro
who waits for his worshipers to remind him how awesome he is,
para recordarle a un adorador para decir que tan grande es,
or how desperately he needs to hear you.
o qué tan desesperado está para oírte a ti.
So basically, God is not waiting on you to worship.
Entonces Dios no está esperando en ti que tú lo adores.
It might sound mean, but God doesn't need you to worship.
Se oye mal, pero Dios no necesita tu alabanza, necesita a ti.
God never changes.
Dios nunca cambia.
So why would he need our worship if he doesn't need it?
Si Dios nunca cambia, entonces ¿para qué necesita nuestra alabanza si no lo necesita?
But when we worship,
Pero cuando nosotros adoramos,
we change.
nosotros cambiamos.
So once again, God he doesn't, excuse me for my words, but he doesn't care about your worship.
Dios no le importa tu alabanza.
Now, he appreciates it.
Ahora, Él la agradece.
There's a difference. He doesn't need it, but he appreciates it.
Él la agradece, no la quita, pero la agradece.
So how many of you have bills?
Cuando tienen pagos,
Which was the worst one? Like what?
¿qué es lo más pesado?
House payment or
La casa,
car payment?
el carro.
Credit cards? Okay, let's go with the car payment. All right, let's go with the car.
Pago el carro.
Now, you see, what I'm saying is God appreciates your worship in a way, let's put it like this.
Yo agradezco la alabanza en esta forma.
Let's go with the power bill.
Vamos
Power, right?
por el poder del
CVS bill. Depending on how much you use, it can be fairly high, correct?
Depende de cuánto tú uses en lo que va a ir.
It could be, for some people, $300,
$100,
$100. But it, depending on some people, it's usually high, right?
es como la gente lo tiene.
Now, paying it, that gives you power, correct? It gives you power to your house,
Pagándola te da poder en tu casa.
right? Okay, so let's say when you're passing your bill, what happens?
Cuando ¿qué pasa si tú no pagas tu bill?
They turn it off, right? But before that, they usually what? They give you some little pink notice
Te
or
dan
something,
una
right?
nota, una rosa.
They're showing their appreciation as a customer. They're
Te
giving
están
you a
diciendo,
little cash.
agradezco tu servicio como
But your bill is
cliente.
past due.
Pero tu bill ha sido pasado.
Like, I appreciate you having connection with us, but your bill is past due.
Me gusta que estés con nosotros como cliente, pero tu bill está pasado.
Now, the more you ignore that, it gets cut off, correct?
Lo más que tú le ignoras, se lo cortan.
Same way as our worship.
Lo mismo la alabanza.
See, most of us complain, why hasn't God done something in my life?
Sí,
Why
no estamos
isn't when
diciendo,
I
¿por
worship?
qué Dios no hace algo en mi vida?
Why isn't when I worship I don't feel anything?
¿Por qué cuando adoro no siento nada?
Why isn't when I want to surrender and give God everything, I don't receive anything in return?
¿Por qué cuando yo me rindo y le doy todo a Dios no me da nada?
Once again, God appreciates your worship.
Dios le agradece tu alabanza,
But unfortunately, your worship is past due.
pero tu alabanza está atrasada.
Wow.
Come on, Pastor. So if you want to receive the power, your worship and praise is past due.
Wow.
Si tú quieres recibir tu poder, tu alabanza está pasada.
How do you expect to
¿Cómo?
get something if
¿Cómo?
it's past due?
¿Cómo quieres que pase algo si tú estás atrasado?
God is willing to give it to you, but
Dios
if
está
He doesn't
dispuesto
get
a
His
dártelo.
appreciation,
Pero Él quiere estar agradecido contigo.
so sometimes we come into a form where it's just tradition.
Nos llegamos a una forma como es solamente tradición.
Where we come, like I said in the beginning, we come to church and we think worship is just 3-4 songs and that's it.
Y pensamos en ir a la iglesia, alabanza, solamente 3 cantos y es todo.
Which it is a part of key worship, but that's
Eso es parte de la alabanza, pero no es todo.
Now, why do we worship God?
¿Por qué adoramos a Dios?
We worship God because of who He is.
Amen.
Vamos a Dios porque quién es Él.
Now, to a lot of people, God is something different in your life.
Para muchas personas Dios es algo diferente.
God can be your Savior, your healer, your provider.
Él puede ser tu salvador, tu sanador, tu libertador.
He can be anything that He has a specific part in your life.
Es algo específicamente en tu vida.
Number 2, we worship God because of what He has done for us.
Alabamos a Dios por lo que Él ha hecho en nuestras vidas.
He created us, therefore we worship Him.
Él nos creó y por eso lo adoramos.
We also worship God because He saved us.
Y también lo adoramos porque nos salvó.
And just like the song that the girls were singing, He sent Jesus to die on our behalf so that we might be free from sin.
Así como las muchachas que cantaban ese canto, mandó a Jesús para que muriera por nosotros y fuéramos salvos de nuestros pecados.
You see, sometimes we forget about what God has done for us.
A veces nos hemos olvidado lo que Dios ha hecho en nuestras vidas.
You know, there's 2 men where one's older than me, the other one's younger than me, where I speak faith in God and I actually listen to.
Hay 2 hombres que hablan fe, uno más alto y uno más grande.
My dad being one of them.
Mi padre es uno de ellos.
We bump heads sometimes. And
A veces pegamos cabeza,
we'll argue about the Bible. Stuff like that.
hace debates sobre la Biblia.
And then I got one of my best friends, which is 2 or 3 years younger than me, that,
Uno de sus amigos que tiene 2 3 años menor que él.
and even being young, it doesn't matter how old you are, when God has a word for you, you hear it.
No importa la edad que tú tengas, si es menor que tú, tienes una palabra, Dios te la va a dar.
So these 2 guys, I want to say, kind of like my spiritual buddies or leaders.
Son mis amigos espirituales, mis guiados espirituales.
So as you see, we have a new sound, new altar and stuff.
Usted mira cómo tenemos nuevo sonido y un altar nuevo.
So this past week, I've been going to my friend's church, trying to learn about this stuff.
Y he ido con mi amigo para ver cómo se trabaja el sonido.
And you know, sometimes you gotta ask. I'm not perfect. I'm not. When you look at me and singing, it's not just singing. You know, I'm just human as you. I go through my troubles and tribulations just like you.
Y yo también te pregunto, yo también no todos perfectos, también tengo problemas. Yo mira aquí cantando, yo también tengo problemas, situaciones en mi vida.
So my best friend, he's been doing exactly the same thing. He leads worship. He does youth services. He does camps. He does. You name it. He's played at almost every church.
Él hace guía de alabanza, hace servicio de jóvenes, va al campamento de jóvenes. ¿Qué hace? Está haciendo muchas cosas este muchacho.
And I asked him, I had to ask him because during this trial of my life, I've been dealing with a specific thing that no one knows, not even my parents. It's just between me and God.
Durante mi caminar, yo estaba batallando con algo, mis padres no saben, y yo tuve que preguntarle a él, y solamente entre mí y entre Dios.
You know, there's some things, being a pastor, there's something you can find, but I have the double being my dad and my pastor, so there's certain things where...
Es algo diferente tener un pastor, pero yo tengo mi papá y pastor de la misma persona.
So even being a pastor, there's certain things I can't tell him because the dad will come out.
Yo sé, como siendo pastor, no puedo decirle algo porque va a salir el papá y me va a regañar.
So for example, if I tell him I'm going to get a tattoo,
Si ejemplo yo le digo, voy a agarrar un tatuaje,
the pastor will be like, well, read the word. What does the word say?
y la Biblia dice, lee la palabra que dice la Biblia.
The dad's going to say, get out of my house.
El papá se saca de mi casa.
So there's certain things. So I had to ask my friend.
Yo hay cosas así, yo tengo que preguntarle a mi amigo.
I asked him, how do you keep doing this day after day?
Y yo le pregunté, ¿cómo tú haces esto día tras día?
How is it that you still have 100%?
¿Cómo tú puedes estar al 100%?
How is it that you get up every Sunday and still have the 100% to worship God?
¿Qué es lo que tú haces que te levantas el domingo y tienes el 100% para alabar a Dios?
Now, I know who God is. I know what He's done in my life.
Yo sé quién es Dios, lo que ha hecho en mi vida.
Now, I will tell you what I've been struggling with.
Yo te voy a decir lo que he estado batallando.
Now, during my life and right now in this situation is
En mi
I'm
vida,
not-
en la situación que yo tengo ahorita,
denying who God is in my life.
yo no estoy negando quién es Dios en mi vida.
I'm making that clear. I know who God is. I'm not denying what He's done in my life.
Yo no estoy negando quién hizo Dios y quién hizo Dios en mi vida.
But where I'm struggling is how do I keep going?
Mi pregunta es, ¿cómo seguir adelante?
How do I keep worshiping
¿Cómo seguir adorando
when I don't?
cuando no?
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. There's some Sundays where I don't want to be here.
Hay domingos que así yo no quiero estar aquí.
I would prefer being in my bed,
Yo prefiero estar en mi cama,
snuggled in my blanket,
estar acostado en mi colcha,
sleep,
dormido,
or go out of town.
o irme fuera del pueblo.
Once again, not because denying who God is.
No por negando por quién es Dios.
It's just I physically don't want to be here.
Físicamente yo no quiero estar aquí.
So I asked him, how is it that you do it, man? Like,
¿Qué es lo que hace que te motive para
why?
hacerlo?
Why? How and why?
¿Por qué? ¿Por qué?
And he clearly told me something that's like the most simplest thing.
Me dijo algo muy sencillo que me lo dijo así.
And it's kind of like those things where you ask someone and they tell you like the most, like you want this high def answer,
Y tú le dices algo y tú esperas tener una respuesta muy grande.
and then they just give you with like, just because.
Por nomás.
Yeah, that's irritating sometimes because you want an answer.
A
And
veces
it's,
te
like,
molesta porque tú quieres una respuesta.
it's like when you get mad at your kids, be like, who did it? I don't know.
Y cuando te dan a tu hijo, te daña a tu hijo, ¿qué le digo? No sé.
Like, how did this get here?
¿Cómo llegó aquí? I don't know.
But sometimes it's clearly just, I don't know.
A veces yo no sé.
So I asked him, he clearly just tells me,
A veces me digo,
why not? Like,
¿por qué no?
why shouldn't I?
¿Por qué voy a parar?
And I'm like, dude, really?
¿En serio?
Like I want more than that. He's like,
Yo quiero
well,
más de eso.
for real, like why shouldn't I not worship God?
¿Por
Why
qué,
shouldn't
por
I
qué no
not?
voy a alabar a Dios?
It got me thinking. I was like, why not? I'm like, what? Like, come on, man. Like, why not? Like,
¿Cómo que por qué no?
and I realized, you know what? It's true.
Y la verdad es verdad.
Some things are just, why not?
A veces cosas que solamente, ¿por qué no?
Why shouldn't I just keep worshiping?
¿Por qué no voy a seguir alabando a Dios?
It's something so simple and clarifying.
Es algo tan sencillo y tan claro.
Luckily, he did start eventually telling me more after.
Ya después puedo decirme un poco más.
And it was about this.
Y era
Like,
por
why
eso.
shouldn't I
¿Por qué no puedo
if I know what he's done in my life?
si lo que he hecho es en mi vida?
You know, why should I stop if I know what he's done in my life?
¿Por qué voy a parar si yo sé lo que he hecho en mi
You
vida?
know, he's done so many things. How can I not repay him?
Él ha hecho tanto, ¿cómo no voy a poder pagarle?
Like, this is not even close to how much I could pay him back.
Esto no es nada lo que yo puedo pagarle a Él.
So how can I stop?
¿Por qué voy a parar?
And that hit me.
Y eso me pegó.
Because in my times,
En mi tiempo
I forget
se me olvida
what God has done in my life.
lo que Dios ha hecho en mi vida.
Now, I don't forget who God is.
No olvidar lo que Dios, quién es Dios.
I know God's my provider, my healer,
Yo sé que Él es mi proveedor, mi sanador,
but I forget of what he's done in my
pero
life.
me olvidó lo que hizo en mi vida.
See, there's two different things.
Hay dos cosas diferentes.
I can tell you, God is love, God is amazing, God is this.
Yo puedo decir Dios amor, es maravilloso,
But then I forget of what he's actually done in my life.
pero se me ha olvidado lo que Él ha hecho en mi vida.
And that's the key for me to keep going,
Y esa es la llave para seguir adelante,
keep worshiping God.
seguir alabando a Dios.
If you forget what he's He's taking you out of,
Porque si te olvidas lo que donde te sacó Él,
how are you going to appreciate the things that He's done for you?
¿cómo vas a agradecer las cosas que ha hecho en tu vida?
If you forget where He's pulled you out of from,
Si te olvidó donde te sacó,
how would you appreciate and gratitude for the things that are yet to come?
¿cómo vas a agradecer las cosas que te va a dar?
Amén. Amén.
But once again, we worship because of
Alabamos
what He's done.
por lo que, por lo que Él ha hecho.
Amén. Gloria a Dios.
And also we worship to bless Him and honor Him.
Y también para bendecirlo y honrarlo.
My favorite one is we worship because we love Him.
Mi favorito es lo adoramos porque lo amamos.
Amén.
And we worship God so that we might draw near to Him.
Y adoramos a Dios para estar más cerca de Él.
Now, this one has hit me a little bit more to draw near to Him.
Esta me pegó un poco más, estar más cerca de Él.
Because once again, we fall into this tradition where we think worship is just singing 3 or 4 songs.
Porque bueno, caemos en esta tradición que alabanza solamente los tres cantos.
Now, as a worship leader,
Ahora, como un líder de alabanza,
my job is to lead you to worship in God's presence.
mi trabajo es llevar a ustedes a la presencia de Dios.
Now, I'm sorry to say this, but my job is not to worship for you.
Pero déjame decirle, pero mi trabajo no es adorar por usted.
My job is not to worship for your problems or for God bring you.
Mi alabanza no es para que usted arregle sus problemas.
And the same way goes as your family. That's not their job to worship for you.
Y lo mismo con su familia no es para que adore por usted.
So when you're in that moment where you're like, why isn't God doing anything? I can't feel anything.
Y si dices, ¿por qué no entiendo si por qué Dios por qué no hace nada, no siento nada?
Look in the mirror.
Mírate en el espejo.
Are you worshiping?
¿Estás adorando a Dios?
Are you telling God that you God, this is going on?
Estás diciendo, tú eres Dios y te estoy bendiciendo.
So that's very clear that my job is not to worship for you.
Es bien claro que mi adoración no es adorar por usted.
Same as pastor is not, his job is not to worship for you.
Y lo mismo como el pastor no es para adorar por usted.
Now, how do we expect God to change us
¿Cómo esperamos que Dios nos cambie
if we don't want to be changed?
si no queremos ser cambiados?
Amén.
It's kind of like the stubborn mule. How do you expect it to go a certain way if it's not going to?
¿Cómo quieres que la mula camine si es necia, si ella no quiere caminar?
You know, it starts with ourselves first.
Empezamos con nuestras vidas primero.
This whole past week, these 2 weeks, you know, I've been, like I said, I've been dealing with something in my life
Esta semana he estado batallando con algo en mi vida.
where I'm torn between either keep going
Estoy de seguir adelante
or stop.
o parar.
And once again, when I mean stop, it's not denying who God is or nothing. It's just completely just,
Para mí parar no es que estoy negando quién es Dios.
it just means to stop. Just,
Simplemente parar.
and, you know, it's something that in our lives, we all go through.
Algo que en nuestra vida siempre hay.
There's a trouble, a tribulation where God puts in front of you,
Dios te deja pasar por problemas y tribulaciones.
and it's up to you whether if you want to keep going
Es tu decisión si vas a seguir adelante
or if you want to stop.
o te vas a parar.
And sometimes it's not if you want to go back. I'm not saying going back to your own
No estoy
life.
diciendo que vas a regresar a tu vida antigua.
It just means stagnant. Stay where you're at and just stop.
Estar parado y esperar.
You know, and I've been torn between that. It's either me keep going and worshiping God and being the worship leader,
Para mí era seguir adelante, ser un líder de alabanza
or just stop
o parar
and just go to church
y solamente ir a la iglesia
and just receiving word,
y solamente recibir palabra.
not appreciating God how I should be doing,
No agradeciendo a Dios lo que Él ha hecho en mi vida.
not giving God my worship
No dándole a Dios mi alabanza
how He deserves it.
como Él se la merece.
And that's a trial and something that is very, very tough on a worship leader.
Eso es una situación bien verdadera y que lo pasa a cada líder de alabanza.
So as a member of the church,
yo como miembro de la iglesia,
I ask y'all to pray for me
yo le pido que ore por mí.
because it's something where you're torn between who you are.
Y esto te rompe para saber quién eres tú.
Who you are as a man
Quién eres tú como hombre
and who you are as a man of God.
y cómo eres tú como hombre de Dios.
Now, I've said it clearly, I'm not a pastor.
Yo le dije claro, yo no soy
I'm not
pastor.
that. I know what God's calling is on my life.
Yo sé que ese llamado de Dios en mi vida,
It's not that.
que no, esto no es.
Thank you, Jesus.
Gracias.
But it's in the situation where I could take either a left or a right.
Es una decisión que yo tengo que tomar la derecha o la izquierda.
Now, speaking about worship and praise,
Alabanza de oración.
it gets you out of problems.
Te saca de problemas.
Worship and praise has so much power
Alabanza de oración tiene tanto poder
that we don't realize how much power it has.
que tú no sabes qué tanto poder tiene.
You know, we live in a times where, once again, we think worship is just singing songs.
Pensamos que la alabanza solamente son cantos.
Which it is, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with singing. You put
No es
singing
nada malo de cantar en tu carro.
But when we go into the Bible and we read the old times where
Cuando vamos a leer, vemos en los tiempos antiguos. No, en Barnabas.
Barnabas.
Bernabé.
One more time.
Barnabas.
In English.
Bernabé.
In Spanish?
Bernabé.
But it speaks about them being chained, correct?
Hablando que ellos estaban encadenados.
It speaks about them being chained in a prison.
Y están encadenados en una prisión.
The Bible doesn't tell us what song they
Y
sing,
la Biblia no dice qué canto estaban cantando.
but their worship and their praise
Pero su alabanza y su adoración
was so strong,
era tan fuerte
so strong that it caused an earthquake.
que causó un terremoto
And it broke the chains and broke the cells.
y rompió las cadenas y abrió la cárcel.
Now that's like, well, I don't know what song that is, but man, we
Y
have,
yo no sé qué cantar, pero me gustaría que cantara ese
we
canto.
have that song, man.
Si cantaríamos ese canto,
Come on.
Gloria a Dios.
Just saying, I don't know. But like I said, it's not the song. It's,
no es el canto.
but then we speak about Joshua as well.
Hablamos de Josué igual,
The wall, where he walks around the wall 7 times.
que camina alrededor de la muralla 7 veces.
And the wall falls.
Y la muralla cae.
Like, that's some strong worship and prayer.
Esa era una fuerte alabanza de adoración.
Now, it brings power. There's power in worship.
Trae poder la alabanza.
Now, the
Amén.
Bible says that God is looking for worshipers in spirit and in truth.
La Biblia dice que está buscando adoradores en espíritu y en verdad.
Now, what is spirit and truth?
¿Qué es espíritu y en verdad?
Basically, the most simplest way is God's looking for worship that knows Him 100% and acknowledges who He is.
Que está buscando adoradores que saben, que conocen a Él 100% y saben quién es Él.
So it's just acknowledging, God, I know who you are. I know what you've done for me. I'm going to worship you.
Y sabiendo, Señor, yo sé quién tú eres, yo sé lo que hiciste conmigo y yo te voy a adorar.
Now, there's something amazing when the presence of God actually falls.
Algo maravilloso pasa cuando la presencia de Dios cae.
And you may ask, well, how do you know when there's the presence of God?
¿Y cómo sabes cuando está la presencia de Dios?
One question, you know when there's the presence of God.
Tú sabes cuando está la presencia de Dios.
You yourself know. If you don't know, it's because you're not wanting to receive it.
Si tú no lo quieres, porque tú no lo quieres recibir.
So if you're like, oh, I don't feel nothing, it's because you don't want to feel nothing.
Si tú no quieres recibir nada, tú no vas a sentir nada.
Now, thank God I haven't experienced or never seen this one, but David, the heart of worship,
David, el que tiene el corazón de alabanza,
the Bible says that he would fall so deep in God's presence
es que se metía tan dentro de la presencia de Dios.
that he knew God after his heart, his own heart.
Él era un hombre conforme al corazón de Dios.
So we're talking about a deep presence, like one-on-one with God.
Está
Like,
hablando una presencia de que estamos uno a uno con Dios.
it's kind of like your wife. Like if you know your wife 100%, you know when she's mad at you, you know when she's...
Y como tu esposa, si tu esposa está enojada contigo, tú sabes cuando está enojada
We're talking
contigo.
about you gotta know that woman from the heart.
Tú tienes que conocer a esa mujer del corazón.
Now if you have a fiance like mine,
Si tienes una novia como la mía,
it's in recording, right?
yo no recuerdo.
That heart changes after a while.
Su corazón cambia.
She tries to hit me with like, what's my favorite color? And I'm
Y me
like,
dice, ¿cuál es tu corazón o color favorito?
pink? And she was like, no, that was 2 years ago.
No, es que
I'm like, who changes the favorite color?
¿Quién cambia de colores?
So it's kind of like you gotta know, like heart to heart.
Tú tienes que conocer corazón de corazón.
So David being heart to heart with God,
Y David siendo el corazón de Dios, como el corazón de
the
Dios.
Bible says that he was deep in the presence that he will strip his clothes off.
Él dice que se ponía atrás de la frente que se quitaba la ropa.
We're talking butt naked.
Estamos hablando
Like the way God created the man.
así como Dios creó al hombre.
Now that, by far, is the most craziest thing I've ever read in the Bible.
Esa es la cosa más loca que yo he leído en la Biblia.
But when I was reading this chapter, I was like, you know what? Let me actually get into depth with that.
Déjame entrar un poco con eso.
Like, let me actually figure out why David ripped his clothes off and was
Yo
butt
quiero
naked.
mirar por qué David se quitó su ropa.
And you think, you're like, okay, you're the king of Israel,
Tú aquel es el rey de Israel,
you're worshiping God,
estás alabando a Dios
and you take all your clothes off.
y te quitas tu ropa.
One, you must not really care who's looking at you.
Número uno, no te importó quién te estaba viendo.
Two,
Dos,
you probably thought you were alone.
pensabas que tú estabas solo.
And three,
Tres,
you're just a crazy man.
estás loco.
But reading actually into it,
Leyendo realmente adentro,
I started realizing the more you go deeper in God's presence,
lo más profundo que te metes en la presencia de Dios,
so the more you worship, the more you praise, the more you acknowledge who He is and actually start walking into God's presence.
lo más que tú buscas a Dios, lo más que te metes en la presencia de Dios,
Little by little,
poco a poco,
you start taking off your old self.
empieza a quitar tu viejo hombre.
So that literally means
Y
that
realmente
David
dice que David
started taking off
se empezó a quitar
what is not of you.
lo que no era de él,
So what is not of you.
lo que no es de ti.
No, okay, don't get scared. I'm gonna take that. But it means stripping what is not of you.
Lo que realmente no es de ti.
Which in so many times we hear in the Bible where Moses, before stepping in the holy land,
Cuando antes que entra a la tierra prometida,
or stepping when he's talking to the burning bush,
hablando en la estás ardiendo,
God says, take off your sandals
dice quítate las sandalias
because you're standing on holy ground.
porque estás parado en lugar santo.
Now he started getting me thinking, okay, it's like if God tells him that on dirt, we're talking about dirt next to a burning, tell him to take off his sandals,
Y estamos hablando de un pedazo de tierra que está una llamarada ahí, dice quítate las sandalias
but you still have your clothes on because you're standing on holy ground.
porque estás parado en un lugar santo.
So that's just taking off your shoes.
Solamente quitarte tus zapatos.
So going back to David, I started realizing, okay, if God tells Moses, take off your sandals because you're standing on holy ground.
Dios le dice a Moisés, quítate las sandalias porque estás parado en un lugar
And that
santo.
was just that area that I was filled with God's presence.
Y nomás en esa área con la presencia de Dios.
Then I started realizing, okay, then this makes sense now.
Entonces esto tiene sentido.
Reason David took off all his clothes
La razón que David se quitó su ropa
because that whole place was filled with God's presence.
porque todo ese lugar estaba con la presencia de Dios.
We're talking about every inch of that place where he was at was filled with God's presence.
Cada hinche que estaba ahí estaba lleno de la presencia de Dios. Cada
So
pulgada.
why not take everything that's filthy off?
¿Por qué no quitamos algo que está sucio?
Amén.
Now, this is how we're supposed to look at our church.
Eso es como debe verlo como iglesia.
We're supposed to look at every single corner is filled with God's presence.
Que ver que
Amén.
cada esquina esté llena de la presencia de Dios.
Now, that does fall on my responsibility,
Eso no entra en mi
but
responsabilidad.
just as much as it falls on my responsibility, it falls on yours.
También entra en su responsabilidad.
Because once again, I can't worship for you.
Una vez más, yo no puedo orar por usted.
I can't worship and praise for
Yo
you.
no puedo adorar y adorar a Dios por usted.
So just as it's my responsibility to bring the presence of God is,
Así como mi responsabilidad de la presencia de Dios
it's yours as well.
es también de usted.
So when we look at this as a field of God's presence,
Si vemos el lugar como sea que se llene la presencia de Dios,
that is the moment where things change.
es cuando las cosas empiezan a cambiar.
that is the moment where if you're needing something,
Cuando tú necesitas algo,
God will do it.
Dios lo hace.
If you need healing,
Necesitas la sanidad,
God will do it.
Dios lo hace.
If you need something else, God will do
Si
it.
necesitas algo más, Dios lo hace.
But we look at ourselves and say, okay, then why did it not happen?
Entonces, ¿por qué no está pasando?
Once again, your worship is past due.
Porque tu alabanza está atrasada.
If God's presence is here,
Y la presencia de Dios está aquí.
if you're not feeling
Y
anything,
tú no estás sintiendo nada.
sorry to tell you, but you ain't worshiping.
Pues tú no estás alabando a Dios.
You're just here.
Nomás estás aquí.
You're a spectator.
Eres un espectador.
You're just looking.
Nomás estás viendo.
You're like, well, that's a nice song.
Ah, está buena la canción.
Pretty good.
Está bien bonito.
Oh, the word up there? Yeah.
Te mira bueno. Estás así para adorar. Así para adorar.
But when you actually, once again, have faith
Cuando
in your
tienes
worship,
fe en la alabanza,
then you start singing a little bit different.
ahora empieza a cantar diferente.
You start singing to us,
Empieza a cantar así para
because you
adorar.
believe in what you're saying.
En creer en lo que estás hablando.
You believe that you want to bring God's
Tú estás
presence.
creyendo que ante la presencia de
You
Dios,
believe that you want to change
que
in
tú
your
vas
life.
a cambiar tu vida.
You believe and you realize that God is going to do great things
Y
in
tú vas
this
a
place.
creer y vas a confiar que Dios va a hacer grandes cosas
The
en tu
moment
vida.
you start worshiping and acknowledging who God is,
Al momento que empieza a adorar y conocer y la
that
que
is
es
when the
Dios,
heavens open
es cuando los cielos se abren
and God releases His power upon your
y
life.
Dios suelta su poder sobre tu vida.
Now, if you want that,
Y si tú quieres,
then you have to ask for it and go get it.
y tú tienes que ir y tomarlo.
It's kind of, I've seen like that commercial, I think it's State Farm, where the little fisherman
El
goes
trabajo
out.
de
It's like, oh,
está con esa
exactly the same way.
es de la misma manera.
God is dangling His presence
Dios está poniendo su presencia
and His blessings and everything He has
y su
upon your
alabanza y
life.
va a caer que caiga sobre tu
And He's
vida.
telling you, oh, you almost had it, but I wasn't there.
Ay, está dando para agarrar.
Oh, you almost had it, but you're not there yet. Oh, you almost had it, but you're not there yet.
Ay, apenas toma porque no llegas a hacer tu momento.
And then we start telling them, why can't I get it?
Pero ¿por qué no puedo agarrarlo?
Why can't I get it?
¿Por qué no puedo agarrarlo?
Because the worship is pastor.
Porque tu alabanza está atrasada.
Once we start worshiping,
Al momento que usted empieza a adorar,
and once again, it's worship is a lifestyle.
una vez más, la alabanza es un estilo de vida.
Once again, faith without works
Es como fe sin obras,
is dead.
es muerta.
Faith is a physical expression.
Fe es una emoción física.
So if you have faith in God,
Si tú tienes fe en Dios,
then your body and you're going to show it.
y tu cuerpo lo va a demostrar.
So if you come to church and you say, I believe in God,
Si tú vienes a la iglesia y yo creo en Dios,
and I believe what He does in my life,
y yo sé lo que hizo en mi vida,
but you're like this during worship,
pero tú sabes la alabanza así.
Come on.
now do you really have faith?
¿Tú realmente tienes fe?
Once again, faith has a physical expression.
Una vez más, fe tiene una forma física.
Now if you want a change in your life,
Si tú quieres un cambio en tu
if you're
vida
looking for
y
something,
estás buscando algo,
then you're going to go after it.
tú tienes que ir por él.
You know, there's a part in our lives where we realize that it's just that we're talking about the Christian walk,
Es una parte de la vida, como estamos hablando de la vida cristiana.
where it's just the Christian walk is basically like a newborn baby. We have a newborn Christian
Es como una vida, en realidad, un que no recién nacido
where they don't know too much about the word.
y no sabe mucho de la palabra.
Then you have your teenager
Y tienes tus adolescentes,
where they're like the more rebellious
son
ones.
los que son más rebeldes.
Telling you, should I do this? Should I
¿Por
do
qué tengo que
that?
hacer esto? ¿Por qué tengo que hacer otro?
But what if about this?
¿Y qué si compro esto?
Famous one is like, well, which I tell my dad also too. So
Yo digo, papá, también
I'm
hace.
pretty sure everyone said this. Well, Jesus drank wine.
O Jesús como vino, ¿por qué no?
Well, that's kind of like that stage, you know. Jesus drank
Es
wine.
en ese estado,
Why can I not?
¿por qué no? Tú no podemos tomar.
Some people have Bibles, tattoos in the Bible, so why can I?
Y si la Biblia dice que tenemos que poner en la Biblia, ¿por qué no poner tatuajes?
These are the ones that actually start getting into the word and start realizing, well, if it's a sin to have a tattoo, well, then you can't shave your beard because that's a sin.
Entonces, si es un pecado tener un tatuaje, Entonces no puedes restaurarte la barba porque también es pecado.
Oh, you can't eat red meat because
No puedes
that's...
comer carne roja porque es
So
pecado.
that's that stage where
Esa es en esa etapa donde
where you're
estamos
actually in the Word and trying to analyze
y
everything.
quieres analizar todo como debe ser.
Now you have where you're a mature, grown spirit where you know what God has done, but not saying that you're perfect. This is the part where you know who God has done in your life. You know what.
Y tienes la área ya, la persona madura no es perfecto, pero es algo lo que Dios ha hecho en tu vida.
Like you're gonna fall in your Christian walk. You're gonna
Tú vas a caer en tu vida cristiana.
like this is not an easy walk.
Que esta no es una manera fácil de
You're
caminar.
gonna fail.
Tú vas a fallar.
Sorry, but sometimes we sugarcoat it saying that believing and walking in Jesus is all roses and cherries.
Muchas veces le decimos mentira cuando dicen que caminar en Jesús como caminar entre rosas en el parque.
It's saying believing in God is the best thing in your life.
Creyendo en Dios es lo mejor en tu vida.
Sometimes it's not.
A veces no es.
Sometimes you are gonna fall.
A veces vas a caer.
You are gonna fail.
Vas a caer.
There are gonna be problems in your life
Va a
where
haber
you feel
problemas
like
en tu
you can't
vida.
overcome.
Que problemas que vas a poder pasar.
There are gonna be some problems where it pushes you back.
Hay problemas que te van a puchar para
And
atrás.
that's 100% okay.
Es 100% está bien.
That's nothing wrong if it hinders you with the walk with Christ.
No te nada malo si te detiene tu caminar.
God
con Dios.
does not love you less.
Dios no te ama menos.
Once again, God does not change.
Dios no cambia.
God doesn't need your worship.
Dios no necesita tu alabanza.
God doesn't need your praise.
Dios no necesita tu adoración.
God doesn't need you.
Dios no te necesita a ti.
God doesn't need you to come to church.
Dios no necesita que tú vengas a la iglesia.
God doesn't need you physically.
Dios no necesita a ti físicamente.
God is perfect.
Dios es perfecto.
So if He's perfect,
Si Él es perfecto,
He don't need me, He don't need you, He don't need Pastor.
Él no necesita a ti, ni a mí, ni al pastor.
But He appreciates what we do.
Pero Él agradece lo que tú haces.
So once again, you are going to fail.
Pero tú vas a caer.
You are going to fall and stumble.
Tú vas a caer y vas a
Something
empezar.
bad will happen in your life.
Algo malo va a pasar en tu vida.
It's going to.
Esto va a pasar.
Sorry to tell you, but it will.
Déjame decirte lo de verdad, pero va a pasar.
In my life, they told me I had cancer and God knows what else. And
En mi vida me dijeron que tenía cáncer y qué más, no sé qué
I was
más.
like in 2 weeks in the hospital.
Yo tuve 2 semanas en el hospital.
So bad things will happen in your life.
Cosas malas van a pasar en tu vida.
But in those moments where bad things happen,
Pero cuando esas cosas malas pasan,
there are going to be some days when you don't want to worship God.
va a haber días que tú no quieres ganas de alabar a Dios.
There's going to be days where you don't want to acknowledge who God is.
Tú no quieres analizar quién Dios es.
There could be days where you're just like, screw my life, but screw this.
Muchas veces decimos, ya no quiero saber eso.
I don't need it.
No lo necesito.
I don't want it.
No lo necesito.
And once again, that is perfectly fine.
Y eso es totalmente bien.
Because in that moment
Porque en ese momento
where you're giving up,
En ese momento que tú te estás rindiendo
that's the moment where you're like, I don't want to hear this.
y cuando tú no quieres oír eso,
I don't want to deal with this.
no quiero tratar con esto,
Once again, your problem is still going on. It happened.
tu problema todavía sigue con
We're not saying God is going to change what happened.
Dios no va a cambiar lo que
Because it
pasa,
happened already.
porque pasó.
That moment when you realize, you know what, this happened. It happened already.
Eso pasó, ya pasó.
You appreciate
Tú agradeces
what God will do in the future.
lo que Dios va a hacer en el futuro. Ya pasó.
So God telling you have cancer, God telling you this or something happened.
Algo que tienes cáncer, algo pasó que tienes contigo.
Once again, it happened.
Ya pasó.
You look forward and be like, God, I'm going to worship you through this.
Yo voy a adorarte por medio de esto.
I'm going to worship you through this.
Voy a adorarte por medio de
I
esto.
acknowledge what is going on in my life.
Yo entiendo lo que está pasando en mi
And
vida.
as hard as I want to give up,
Y al que tan duro yo a veces quiero rendirme y
as hard
dejar.
as I literally just want to throw in the towel,
Y a veces yo quiero tirar la toalla.
come on, why not?
¿Por qué no?
Why shouldn't I worship you?
¿Por qué no voy a adorarte?
What do I have to lose?
¿Qué voy a perder?
What do I have to lose if I keep walking forward?
¿Qué voy a perder si sigo caminando adelante?
Because if you stay stagnant,
Si te quedas parado,
if you just stay there and be like, well, this happened in my life, that's it.
y sé qué pasa en mi vida, que me quedo.
You're going to be stuck there.
Ahí te vas a quedar parado.
That's how you're going to live your life.
Es como vas a vivir tu vida.
So why shouldn't I just keep
¿Por qué no voy a seguir adelante?
God, I know I have cancer, but you know what? I'm going to praise you for all these things.
Señor, yo sé que quiero cáncer, pero voy a seguir adorándote. Señor, yo sé que te pasó mi vida, pero voy a seguir adelante.
God, you know me as long I don't want to do this, but I'm still going to.
Señor, a veces tú sabes que no quiero, pero lo voy a seguir haciendo.
Once again, that's fine.
Muchas veces está bien.
Once again, we think that walking in the Christian life is roses and cherries, and you should feel 100% great, and you come to church and oh, my problems, but I'm gonna leave my problems at home and I feel good.
Muchas veces pensamos que caminar en Cristo es caminar en el parque con rosas y todo bien hermoso, venimos a la iglesia, adoramos, pero a veces no es así.
We leave our problems at home, we come to church, we pray for front.
Dejamos los problemas en la casa, llegamos aquí como todo está bien,
Like everything's fine.
como que todo está bien.
At the beginning I said, God doesn't need our worship.
En el principio dije, Dios no necesita tu alabanza.
We do.
Nosotros lo damos.
We come to worship because it changes us.
Nosotros venimos a orar porque nos cambia a nosotros.
So that's saying,
Eso quiere decir,
I was speaking to my friend, he was telling me, you know what? You don't need to go to church to worship.
que mi amigo me decía, tú no tienes que ir a la iglesia para adorar.
You don't need to go to a physical building church to worship.
Tú no tienes que ir a un lugar físico para adorar.
God is perfect, He's everywhere.
Dios es perfecto, está en todas
You
áreas.
worship in your car,
Tú puedes orar en tu carro,
you worship in your room,
en tu cuarto,
you worship in the shower,
en tu baño, bañándote,
worship at work.
en el trabajo.
But the reason that we go to church to worship,
La razón de que vamos a la iglesia a adorar,
and this hit me,
y esto me pegó,
he tells me, is because there's another person there that is dealing with what I'm doing.
porque hay otra persona que está pasando lo que tú estás pasando.
So when we worship together
Y cuando adoramos juntos,
because there's another person jacked up. Like
porque hay una persona peor que yo, igual que yo.
that's the reason why we go to church to worship.
Y esa es la razón que vamos a la iglesia,
Because it changes us.
porque nos cambia a nosotros.
It changes us.
Nos cambia a nosotros.
Reason we come to church is not the physical building, is to receive, because you can receive God in anywhere that you go.
No venía a la iglesia a recibir lo que los críticos, tú vas a recibir a Dios en todo lugar.
But we come because there's another person dealing with anything.
Porque hay otra persona que está pasando por lo que tú estás
Or there's a
pasando.
person dealing with you've dealt with.
O algo que él pasó por lo que tú pasaste.
And you are that person that can tell me, you know what, I've been there,
Y tú puedes decir, yo estaba ahí,
we can do this together.
podemos hacerlo juntos.